Since the beginning, plants have furnished us with two of life's essentials, food and oxygen. As the world evolved, trees provided additional necessities such as shelter, medicine, and tools. Today, their value continues to increase and additional benefits of trees have been discovered as their role expands to satisfy the needs created by our modern lifestyles. Trees contribute to the environment by providing oxygen, improving air quality, climate improvement, conserve water, preserve soil, and support wildlife. During the process of photosynthesis, trees take in carbon dioxide and produce the oxygen we breathe. According to researchers, 1 acre of forest absorbs 6 tons of carbon dioxide and puts out 4 tons of oxygen. This is enough to meet the annual needs of people. Trees and shrubs also filter air by removing dust and absorbing other pollutants like carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide. Plants control climate by moderating the effects of the sun, rain, and wind. Leaves absorb and filter the sun's radiant energy, keeping things cool in summer. Plants also preserve warmth by providing a screen from harsh wind. In addition to influencing wind speed and direction, they shield us from the rain, sleet, and hail. Trees also lower the air temperature and reduce the heat intensity of the greenhouse effect by maintaining low levels of carbon dioxide. Trees are an important part of every community. The streets, parks, playgrounds, and backyards are lined with trees that create a peaceful, aesthetical pleasing environment. For us in this part of Nigeria, deforestation is more of a challenge with negative implications on the environment in terms of soil erosion, loss of wildlife, biodiversity, and ecosystems. Hence, tree planting and efforts at reforestation, which provides an opportunity for community involvement and empowerment towards improving the quality of life in our neighborhoods. All cultures, ages, genders, individuals, and even government have an important role to play in tree planting or tree care event. Noting the peculiarity of the state as a coastal city prone to several environmental challenges, the Lagos State government over the years has imbibed the culture of planting trees annually as part of the efforts to mitigate the impact of global warming and other environmental challenges.
Today's event, which is simultaneously taking place in its 7 locations in the 57 local governments, local council development areas, and 8 other ceremonial sites, is aimed at ensuring that the state is able to meet the target of 10 million trees by 2020. This annual event is one of the most reliable and cheapest means of combating the effects of global warming and climate change. Planting of trees is very important for our environment. The state government is solidly behind this year's theme, lend a hand to save trees.
The fast-growing urban development areas across the state must curtail the uncontrolled felling of trees and ensure all developers adhere to all town planning and greening regulations. We must plant trees to replace the removed from vast acres of land so that we reduce the rate of ocean surge and erosion with its attendant problems and displacement of homes and communities.
This year, 2016, the tree planting exercise took place on Thursday, 14th of July, as it has always been, with the theme, Lend a Hand to Save Trees. The 9th in the series, it called on residents to protect the trees and plant more to replace those removed from vast acres of land.
This annual event is one of the most reliable and cheapest means of combating the effect of global warming and climate change. Planting of trees is very important for our environment because trees provide oxygen, cool the atmosphere, help conserve energy, save water, prevent erosion, save our children from ultraviolet rays, provide food and brings diverse groups together. Tree planting event is therefore another support for this year's World Environmental Day, as trees are an essential part of creating appropriate dwelling for wildlife. Lagos State has become a positive reference point in Nigeria about creating a green environment. We remain committed to this cause and will vigorously pursue the state greening policy of total regeneration of degraded sites as part of our path with Lagosians. We will do even more. Already the security and light up Lagos initiatives of our administration are complementing our beautiful city at night and ensuring the parks and gardens that are safe for recreational purposes.
Across the world, it's been established that the world needs about 30 billion trees annually for humans to survive. Thus, the need to ensure that trees never die.
Planting of trees is very important for our environment because trees provide oxygen, cool the atmosphere, help conserve energy, save water, prevent erosion, save our children from ultraviolet rays, provide food, and brings diverse groups together.
Over 6.7 million trees before the last tree planting exercise. During that day alone, we planted over 10,000 trees. On the 14th of July this year, we planted over 10,000 trees. So by the time you add that to it, I'm sure we're getting to about 6,800,000 trees, and we are looking at the target, which I'm sure we shall meet and surpass if need be, because the more trees we planted, the better for the environment. There are different types of species of plants that we have. We have encouraged people to plant the trachoma species, to plant the royal palms, because those ones will not foul the electricity cables and the lines. Because in the past we've had running battle with the discos, because once the trees foul their electrical cable, they go there and they just prune the trees without recourse to the agency. We also encourage fruit trees within communities, like the local pear. When we were younger, you could see the local pear around, you could see the local fruit trees around. We never knew there was any other apple except that local one. And we can also encourage people to plant economic trees. We have cashew trees. We also have those trees that they provide us with palm fruits, palm kernel. They also provide the oil with which we can cook and make a lot of food for ourselves.
This year's event took a new turn as it was celebrated simultaneously in 87 locations in the 57 local government and local council development areas across the state, as well as 8 other ceremonial sites. The aim behind these was to ensure that about 10 million trees will be planted by year 2020. The ceremonial sites, among others, include Lagos State NYSC Orientation Camp, ORIYOMI, Cherubim and Seraphim Church Primary School, Owutu, Ikorodu, Ikosi Senior High School, Ikosi Road, Ikosi Sherry LCDA, Jubilee Model College and Senior Grammar School, Koka Aguda LCDA, Lekki Concession by Lekki Ekpe Expressway, Etiosa Local Government. Others are Lasut Premises, Obakinjobi Road, GRA Ikeja, Victorious Women Praying Center, Nuruddin Olowopopo, Central Business District, Alausa, Ikeja.
This is the tree you are going to plant for today. This is how we do it. Now the tree has been packed with a nylon bag where we nursery from the nursery ground to enhance the planting faster, in order to cut the stump and don't put it on the ground today. But today, you will tear paper like this. You can hold it, sir. No, you hold it to the right. You go like this. Okay. You open it gently. Oh, I just got Now we have what they call a plastic towel. I'm actually every day. Read the towel at that. Okay. Very good for your back. Yeah. This is it. We now use it to return the soil back to the plant. Don't worry. Okay. Now it's okay. Now you now leave a space for watering and manuring. See this space that you leave now. It will not be the one for any time you want it, because you put organic on this place. It helps the plants to grow faster. So we will now feed us to this level. So this level is for water and manure. Now we have successfully planted the plant. A round of applause for the science. After we eat, we take water. The same thing, the plant also take water. You now have the water to eat. How much? Yes, just put to that level. Remove your head, sir. Now you have now you have finished the work of the day. Now you will now put the hand glove, wash your hands.
Sir, representative of the commission.
Bomi se je kon bomi si.
That's good.
Ba bo o da be se.
Thank you, sir.
We all know the importance of tree planting, how it's advantageous to the people. We need a cool environment, and that is why we need trees. We are planting the trees. Once the trees are planted, see, they release oxygen that we need. And the carbon dioxide that we release is what they need to grow. And that is why the state government is campaigning that there must be a greener environment. When you talk of greener environment, you are talking of trees and other accessories that surround it. So it is important that our people should assist us to guide against tree. Cutting down of trees is illegal in Lagos State, and we have been shouting about that. And there's an ultimate campaign on that. Everybody should cut down trees. If there is anything that needs to be cut down, you need to come down to the local government or go to Laspark and seek approval. Anything contrary is illegal, and it will be decidedly dealt with by the government.
It's part of activity to checkmate climate change, and by growing plants, we are making the environment to be more friendly to human beings, because there are lots of advantages on tree planting. Afforestation to make sure that environment well is beautified, and through planting of trees, you can have transpiration. That means having cooling effects on the environment, and it will help the society make sure that this global warming is reduced to the minimal level.
The benefits of tree planting are numerous. They have numerous benefits. First of all, when we plant trees, we protect the atmosphere against green gases. You know, it will purify the atmosphere of carbon dioxide. And the trees can also serve as canopies. It can serve as shades. It can serve as windbreakers. So, and the lubricant too can serve as log for lubricant. So we have numerous gain from tree planting. How I wish that all Lagosians can imbibe this habit of planting trees. So we will gain a lot from it. And I can assure you, our school being used today, the trees that are going to be planted today, we will take good care of the trees and make sure that the trees grow, all the trees that they grow to maturity.
Other activities at the event were presentations by school pupils, launch of Green Club and recognition of Green Ambassadors, as well as Me and My Tree competition. All of these are part of efforts by the administration to make young people part of the environment and learn to contribute to a cleaner and greener environment.
We, the children of Lagos State, pledge to support the greening of the state. We shall plant and protect the trees from indiscriminate cutting and felling as we are hopeful support to mitigate climate change. May the Lord help us. Amen.
Alright, that's good. So you are the people involved in the cutting down of our trees. What you fail to recognize is planting of this tree is your purpose. The first reason is that planting of this tree provides us with oxygen, which we use in breathing, and it helps to absorb dangerous gases such as carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, which is dangerous to human beings, but we fail to recognize it. Cutting down of this tree leads to something dangerous, such as desert encroachment and flooding, also global warming, but we fail to in cutting it for domestic use and industrial uses. For this case of mine, I'm going to send it to 6 months imprisonment, and I'm going to pay 150,000 for the fine of cutting down the tree. Understand? Take charge. Yes, sir. Stand up.
I would say to our parents that they should try and ensure that they should keep Lagos clean. The trees, the flowers, everything should be clean, well taken care of. It's our responsibility to take care of them and not the states, because we actually the Lagosians ourselves.
What I have for all the viewers is that they should always ensure that they don't cut down trees anyhow, because these trees that we are cutting down is life, and as we are cutting down life, it is not good. We should always stand and plant trees and make sure that no one cuts it. And my advice for everyone is that anybody seen, if you catch anybody cutting down trees, you should tell the person that it is not good, that these trees that they are cutting down is life.
To complement the annual tree planting exercise, the Lagos State government has continued to invest massively in beautifying the environment with parks and gardens that are of international standards and attract tourist attraction. Saddled with these responsibilities, the Lagos State Parks and Gardens Agency Laspark has ensured the development, management and maintenance of parks, gardens, open spaces, verges and medians and triangular laybys through its regular planting and greening exercise and management of same.
We found out in the state that the issue of greening and open spaces development is a major component of sustainable development. Sustainable development is a process through which a generation of people like us are able to develop in such a way that we're able to meet the need of today without jeopardizing the need of the future, that is tomorrow.
The agency over the years has delivered parks and gardens for recreational purpose and use for the general public. Some of these gardens are the Oshodi Heritage Park, Dolphin Park in Adeniji, Alao Akabashono Garden in Gbagada, Muriokwala Park in Victoria Island, Alausa Park, Undubusi Kano Park, Ganifawemi Park, among others. Others are Osborne Woodland, Ikorodu Recreational Park, Badagry Recreational Park. It is worthy of note that the agency also fostered public-private partnership in greening to reduce the maintenance and establishment costs from government.
The agency has partnered with private individuals, but the government is a major ball roller. That is the one that is in charge of funding the agency. But we're encouraging the private entrepreneurs to come on board. We also have the advertising group, the OAN group, that place adverts in some of our gardens and parks to come on board to support. And this they do by paying ground rent. All these are sources through which we fund the agency. And we also generate revenue for government through the use of the parks and gardens in the states. We encourage people to use our parks. We do photo shoots. We do events. We also encourage musical concerts in all those parks. So through that, we can make some money for the state government.
To strengthen this partnership, the agency regularly holds stakeholders forum with the partners. This year's stakeholders forum was themed Sustaining Our Green Lagos. The event had in attendance over 400 participants, including corporate bodies, horticulturists and individuals amongst others. The coming together of these stakeholders is to look at ways of funding donations towards a greener environment, as well as ensuring serious advocacy to the public and generally make the environment better for all.
Because the government does not have the human resources to be able to manage those parks individually, we had to outsource to so many horticulturists that are trained for the job. And they are being paid through the source of funding, government, the private, and also people that are interested in greening that comes forward to want to partner with the state government. We have the banks. Some banks are supporting us. Individuals are also supporting us, deciding to adopt areas where they want to green and maintain, and so that the cost will not be too much on government.
Generally, the importance of trees cannot be overemphasized. It's important to collectively resolve several environmental challenges caused by the people that endanger human lives, plants, and animals. Such challenges include indiscriminate waste dumping into drainages and canals, building on drainages which hitherto result in flooding.
There have been so many abuses in our parks, and we have been trying to curb this through public awareness and advocacy program. We have motorized vehicles that go out on a daily basis to tell people how they must not abuse our parks. But we still have a lot of challenges because the people, it's a mobile and dynamic system. The people you educate today might not be the one you meet in that same location the next day. So public awareness and education has to be continuum. And this is very expensive, but we are trying to cope within the available resources. We also organize CDA and CDC meetings. We have stakeholders program for principals and school children because we want to catch them young. They are our green ambassadors. We have just launched 2,500 of them at the last tree planting program of the 14th of July. And so far, they are supposed to teach even their parents on how to use the park. You are not supposed to walk on the park. You are not supposed to defecate or urinate in the parks. No animals should stray into the parks.
Trees are meant to be preserved, and all residents are urged to ensure sustainability by playing their roles at ensuring a green environment. Trees create vital habitat and promote biodiversity. Abundant trees and other vegetation expands the urban forest, creates wildlife habitat, and improves stormwater management, and thus making communities more pleasant to live in.
Trees are like the lungs of man. We need the trees for survival. We need the trees to protect the environment. We need the trees to enhance the value of our property as well. We also need them to reduce the pollution in the immediate environment. The blessing that trees provide overwhelms the knowledge that people have so far acquired. It has also been the major source of oxygen for survival of human beings. The carbon dioxide we breathe in is taken in by plants, and then it is converted through the process of photosynthesis, and oxygen is released. Oxygen that is released is what the human being need for its own survival. So it borders on the fact that by the time the last tree dies, the last man will have gone. So we all need to join hands with the government to ensure that the trees that are planted in your locality are not just pruned without consultation to the agency. You can also plant a lot of trees for several events. If you have a naming ceremony, you can plant a tree. If you have a housewarming ceremony, you can plant a tree. If you are celebrating your retirement, you can equally plant a tree. So that by the time the trees grow and continue to grow, even while you are no longer there, the trees still remain to provide oxygen for your children. In places where trees are planted, studies have revealed that there's less stress and there's less sickness because there's so much oxygen that is able to move and circulate within the environment, and so we shall remain healthier.